So there you have it, folks. My wagon craft is completely done. No more obsessing over this project. No more driving myself crazy trying to get it done. It's finished. And you know what? That's one of the best feelings in this hobby. When you do something and it turns out great and you don't... Oh, wait a sec. Oh, looks like somebody's leaving a comment on the YouTube video. I might as well read it.
I was looking up videos on this very subject early today. That's really weird. Well, it was more Viverdo style wagon to use for Vistani and Ravenloft, but close enough. Thumbs up.
A Varda wagon. Vistani. Ravenloft. Son of a... So I find myself inspired to create a Vardo wagon for a Ravenloft campaign. Now, the first step in this is creating some resin little bits and pieces that I can glue on the edge of the wagon to make it all pimped out. This ended up working much better than I originally assumed. I had this kind of cheap mold that's actually for hot glue molding. It actually works fine with resin, but I originally thought the little accoutrements were going to be too big, but after I got done casting and everything, they ended up looking really nice. So no secret here, this is all stuff that's available in your local crafting store. I'm using 2-part resin. After I pop them out, a couple of them looked pretty good. Again, you always want to either tap or vibrate your table so you don't get the little bubbles like I did. I started hot gluing the parts onto the dollar store wagon. I went with a slightly different looking door this time, which made a little bit more sense as a door. I found out that the Hearst Arts stairs from the Tavern set are pretty much a perfect fit. So again, the look I'm going for is kind of a semi-permanent wagon. So it can be moved, but its main purpose is a living space. The real-world equivalent of this wagon is a bow top, which has a canvas top. But I wanted to go with a more permanent-looking top, and I also wanted to try out Black Magic Craft's wood cardboard technique he did in a recent video. And I immediately screwed up by not texturing the cardboard before cutting it into strips.
Important thing is that you do this step now before cutting out your strips.
Ladies and gentlemen, turns out he knows what he's talking about. A thin tip tool, such as a nail, is a very good way to get texture on cardboard. I was very happy with how I managed to get some lovely texture on the roofing strips here. Even doing them one by one wasn't too big of a deal in the long run. Next, I moved on to the sides, where again I tried to use nothing but cardboard. I probably actually should have just done the same thing with the roof, cut them apart, and then place them back together. Instead, I tried to do just deep grooves to make the texture of wood, and I tried to build up with additional scraps. Now, the building up worked. I really didn't get the texture I wanted from the wood. And then I ended up using a little bit of toothpicks on the end of the windows there. Again, the windows would have looked much nicer had I actually cut them up into strips. Now I'm just starting to glue on these strips on the top of the old wagon, as well as starting to glue on the little resin bits on the sides. This process really didn't take that long. If I was to do it again, I would maybe try a different technique with the super glue, or forego the super glue and use some sort of white glue like tacky glue or something like that. Also, I would have cut the strips long and just trimmed them off. I thought I could do it in such a way where I could just measure everything correctly and not have to do that. But frankly, the little bits that I did have to cut off and even ended up looking really good. So again, I don't think there's any reason not to do the thing where you cut the strips a little bit long and then cut them off evenly after you glue them down. But again, maybe super glue wasn't the best bet here. I know even with using multiple little spots to affix it, this did bunch up a little bit during the drying process. But yeah, this worked great on the roof. Maybe it would have looked a little bit better with white glue, but who knows. Afterwards, I was really worried about all the fancy bits that I had fixed on. I assumed that perhaps they were too big, too bulky, and would look weird. However, I shouldn't have worried, because after a coat of Mod Podge and paint, everything started to come together perfectly. As you can see here, this is my slapdash method of a little bit of this, a little bit of that, to get the perfect shade of dark, reddish brown that I like as my primer for these sort of wood projects. After a coat of dark brown woodish color, I was ready to start with other little accoutrements, including the chimney, which was a coiled piece of plastic stuck around a thick bit of sprue. Bingo bango, there you go. And there you have it, folks. If you want to see the entire painting process, then you can go to the live stream video where I painted this whole thing. It took me about 2 hours and 40 minutes. I was really trying to make this look nice. The roof turned out amazing. The only flaw was that I got the placement of the chimney a little bit wrong. I wish I would have stuck it on the outside a little bit more where it would have made sense. But, I mean, come on. Looking at it from the side and a top view, it looks fine. Just imagine that the chimney has some sort of L stovepipe on the inside. And let me tell you, I was completely wrong about those outside decorations. I kind of stopped myself from affixing them all over the sides of the wagon, and boy, I should have. They just look so weird and awkward when it was unpainted. But once the paint went on, man, these outside decorations looked great. I tried to brighten up the outside by doing little ruins, but I really wish I would have added more of the resin pieces. They just worked so much better after they were painted. As you can see, I peppered in some Citadel skulls, and this guy looks much better compared to my first attempts at making wagons. Of course, I still love my merchant wagon, but this wagon, the roof looks so much nicer. I guess this is just a matter of persistence. If you have a concept in your brain, give yourself some time and give yourself some more chances to get it right. I'm very happy that I have these now for my tabletop game, and I cannot wait to start playing real physical games on the table again. If you enjoyed this crafting video, please let me know in the comments below. And if you're interested in more videos like this, please subscribe, because I am going to be doing more crafting videos through the summer.
Have a great day, and as always, thank you for watching the video.